I think
Is it
that
possible to relocate that further down the hole?
As long as we can get a network cord to it.
Sorry?
As long as we can get a network cord to it.
I'm the one that uses it.
Good morning, everyone. This is a joint meeting of the Commissioners and the Council. At this time, we will establish the call of order and a determination of a quorum. Mr. Bellows?
We have a quorum. All three commissioners are here.
All right. We also have a quorum on the council. All 7 council members are present. At this time, we're going to start out with item number 3, which is the interlocal agreement. Mr. Gauze will present that.
Thank you. I think everybody should have a copy of that, either that I sent to you. I doubt if it's sitting in front of you. Maybe it is.
It's part of the packet.
It's part of the packet. Okay, thanks. And basically what this is when the regional sewer district and the clean water function, I'll call it, department, I guess, work together, and Jim Martis retired as the director of the regional sewer district. We approached another department in the county if they would take clean water. Clean water went under that department, and that left us with regional sewer. And we talked among ourselves as commissioners about how best to handle that function. We looked at various options, and the best option that we ended up with and felt was the best to work with, and quite frankly, it's been going on since Jim Martis left, and that was to put the regional sewer responsibilities under Mila in the commissioner's office, and she took off and began running with that. And so this interlocal agreement, which actually goes back, there was another interlocal agreement that was in 2012, I think, that commissioners and council signed. This is a revised interlocal agreement that the commissioners acted on and approved at our meeting this morning. And then we are bringing this to you basically to approve today as council, which you can do. Greg Sturwald and Rhonda Cook have both reviewed this. I won't say, quote, given their blessing, but they've reviewed it and said it looks like a legal document, and so on, and had some revisions to it. Todd was involved in it as well. And so we are recommending that the council approve this as well. It covers back to when Mila began doing work for that, so it covers in this agreement pay to her for the work she's done back to when she began that, and then the work going forward from this point forward as well, and putting those two together, the work she's doing for the commissioners and the work that the regional sewer involves. So I guess with that brief amount of comments, I'll throw it open for discussion.
Yes, at this point for the councils, the commissioners already approved it this morning, correct?
We did.
Yeah. Is there a discussion in the council?
One of the things that I would like to ask or inquire about is the difference in salary. Is that the only difference that the board is going to be making up? The sewer district, $17,000, are they going to be paying any of the friends' benefits as well that go along with that? The added FICA and Medicare costs and PERF costs? Is that going to be included in this?
We didn't talk about that, but I would think we could.
Okay.
I would think based on the percentage of
Yeah.
compensation,
Right.
it'd be fair.
Sure, we could do that.
So number 6, somewhat, number 6
Number 6.
somewhat addresses that. It says the district will compensate the county for the difference between the compensation for the commissioner's administration and public affairs position and any additional compensation for administration of the district. So compensation usually means, in plain meaning, means the salary and the benefits. So the district, I believe that covers it, that they would have to pay the additional.
But is that the benefit, is that the benefits to the employee themselves? Or does that cover the employer contribution that is necessary to, say, Medicare? If I don't know. I don't know if that compensation covers that, if that purpose does.
We could make it more clear if we needed to.
But
Anyone else on the council? Yes, sir.
This is going to 40 hours.
Yes, correct. Yes.
So it hasn't been 40 hours applied at this point.
Yes, then that would probably been more than that, but it has been, it's in the numbers as far as the amount of time she has spent. But the 40 hours will not begin until we approve this on the date going forward. She's still working 35 hours work. So the amount of time she has spent over and above that is really the extra compensation due her back to January for the work she's done. I believe that's in here as well. Yeah.
And that is, that compensation is at regular time rates, right? It's not.
It's regular time.
Are there other discussion comments? Down on the other side here.
I'll comment as normal. When I heard about this several months ago, I was not in favor of combining any office like this because I do believe with our growth, rapid growth and regional sewer growth, we're going to have to get a director again. So then you run into the problem, okay, what do you do with the pay for the position that's been merged? I just don't think it's good policy. Nothing against the person in that position. She's excellent at her job that she does. It's just not good policy. And the second thing that I do disagree with, where it talks in number 15 about paying the person for 334.87 hours working for the district between January and April. That is 9.5 full weeks of work. 9.5, those hours work out to 9.5 full weeks of work, paid at the difference between what the regional director made and what she makes. And that is not acceptable to me, I'm sorry. It was graded 30. The difference between the hourly, the $19.20 an hour, is not warranted at all. Now, she may have worked those hours, but it should be at her regular pay, which it has been. So it's just bad policy. And once you make it, I've said this before, you set a precedence. Consistency is so important, so that's just the way I feel about it.
Yes, sir.
Well, I kind of agree with Nancy a little bit on that, but the horrifying, I checked into that when I saw that, and that particular part of this, the overtime part, was deciphered through the process of how many hours she worked on the sewer district stuff. And they used the higher pay scale. Obviously, during that time period, she received her regular pay overtime, but she didn't receive any extra. This is addressing that extra part because the sewer district job is a grade 36. She was on a grade 30. So that difference is what this is. It's not what you're thinking pay. It's just that difference part between what the 36th grade and the 30 would pay that for those hours that she would be instructed because it's a different job. So that, I really don't have a problem with that part of it. The
They
part
said-
that I do have a problem with is the way this reads, we are increasing her, even though their argument is she's staying in the grade 30 as the top edge at 4145. We're doing a huge increase to her salary based on the combination, whereas when they decide for that overtime, they separate that. Here, you're putting it together. They're saying that her previous 30 pay rate is also now being paid at the 41 for all that work behind it. So I can understand if you keep them totally separate and any hours devoted to the sewer side be up in that 41 range, but all her previous work and present work is still should be at the 38-hour range. That's my biggest issue with it.
I will go back to that explanation that the job description was sent in twice, changed twice, and it received the same grade. So that's why I feel strongly she should not get the payout because it's the same grade. And if we raise it now, which they're also proposing going forward, it can be that grade. That's a compromise. But the back pay, based on what the director made, who had some sort of education in that field, I don't think that's appropriate. That's a door we don't want to open with other employees.
For myself, I'm uncomfortable with the interlocal agreement in that it's combining two different things into one position. The sewer district in one hand and the rest of the county in the other. And I'm uncomfortable with that kind of an agreement. What I would be comfortable with is if that worked for the sewer district, if it was done on a contract basis. And with Mila having a contract to do that, separate from her position with the county. So that's where I'm at on that.
Yes, but the question is whether you're going to allow her to do that work while she's doing her other job.
Which I don't think that should be the case. It should be a contract where she's either working for the county or she's working for the sewer district.
Right. Yeah, the only way that you can have her kind of simultaneously do the job at this, during the work hours for her first position is to have the interlocal.
Well, all I know is I'm just a farm guy. I just know it's extra work, needs extra pay. I've never proposed to tell the county council how to do your job, it's just extra work, needs extra pay.
I wish that was true, but that is not generally
Well, I know.
the way it works in
In the
government.
private sector, that's how we do it, but
I'm okay with it going forward because it's been done in the past with an agreement. I don't think, I'm indifferent to the back pay, because when you do well and promoted outside anywhere, you typically work hard and that's what gets you the extra work and the extra pay. So I'm very comfortable moving forward with the pay, but the back pay, if people are okay with it, okay, but if not, I'm not gonna fight about it.
Any other comments? Yes, sir.
I think that your idea of a separate contract is much cleaner, and as far as confusing the hours devoted to which,
Can we have this?
I would think during
regular hours.
This
she
is what,
clocks in
we'd have to redo
as,
this somewhat.
what are
But yeah, there's
county
a contract
position,
for her as well.
and
have the owner.
clocks out, and then
We
when
could
she
have
goes
this
on
separate
to
contract.
the sewer district,
What she
she
does
clocks
for
in
original sewer.
for that.
Yeah.
When he
you could.
clocks
You
out,
could.
so we've got, we do have the separation. I too am uncomfortable with trying to merge the two functions. I just foresee problems as far as precedent in the future. And it's just not easy to distinguish those two functions. So I like your idea of a separate contract.
I think we explored that early on and were discouraged from doing it from a legal standpoint of having a contractual agreement with the paid employee. I may be wrong, but I think we were steered away from that many months ago. And we've been working hard to find a solution, and I know you guys have a hand in this. Mila's done really good work for the district. I happen to be president of it. The amount of emails that she's copied on, which is every one that I get, it's the real deal. I mean, she's managed her time very well. She's doing what we ask, but it's not a small commitment to what she's been doing.
For
How
myself,
we find a solution, I don't know, but I know we're in May, and she's been doing the work in good faith for 4 months now.
from my standpoint, and having known Mila for several years now, her work is tremendous. And she does high-quality work, and quantity also at the same time as high quality. So that's not, she's not my concern on that. I know that a lot of our employees have other work that they do. And so I don't know that there would be a problem for a county employee having a contract with someone else besides being an employee here.
I think we were told otherwise, but I'm not a
Well,
lawyer.
But I understand.
I have a question.
Yes.
What would happen on her original job when she needs to be in attendance at the regional sewer district meeting? Would she be able to write down that she's stopping that job and now taking free time to start the other job? How would that work? Is she just paid a salary and
I would try to
it's not hourly or?
I certainly.
That's part of the reason,
Right.
quite frankly, for putting the two together and moving that position, then, quite frankly, moving Mila in grade 30, because we had them both graded out by first person, and moving her to the top of that pay grade to do both functions, and we don't run into all of that rigmarole, I'll call it, of having the.
Like a clock in, clock out.
Clock in, clock out. I mean, that's a nightmare. You know,
Would it make more sense to have her be a regional sewer district employee and part of her time spent with the county?
Well, I'm thinking one of that too, there.
That takes us out of the equation, really.
Could you say that again, Eric?
Make her a regional sewer district employee and have her work, have part of her job responsibilities to handle what she does for the commissioners. That sounds much easier, clear to me. That takes us out of the.
We'd rather not have to go
Right.
that route, but I think that is a contingency plan.
I don't know what kind of benefits they provide at the sewer district.
I think the same benefits as the county does.
It's like we provide benefits to the solid waste board.
We'd rather
Yeah.
not go about it that way.
Right. I'm fine either way because this has been occurring whether or not this way from 2012 until 13 years.
And it's unfortunate, I mean, we had someone in that position, we were paid very well, and we came to the understanding that, you know, we would like to have that individual back, but we weren't getting the value for the dollars exchanged.
Yes.
And where the district is today, we feel like this could be an interim solution, and ultimately, you know, with some real net savings of dollars. But that's not to say that the district's not gonna need that director in 3-5 years from now. But today, commissioners feel like we can get the job done without a $120,000 employee.
Have a lot of legislation change.
I really like Eric's idea on that, but I think one of the problems might come into play on that would be perf and stuff like that. If she
She'd
stopped
still
being a
be-
county employee.
No, she'd still be a county employee or in her own job that she has. Commissioner's administrative. And this would be a part-time job through
So-
regional sewer.
Just one point of clarification. The difference in pay is coming from the regional sewer district.
Correct.
So that's not a council area. That's because the additional pay is out of their budget, and they're reimbursing. So I'm understanding what the precedent issue, but that really is a separate, you have to think of the regional sewer district as like if we were contract or having an interlocal agreement with another county or another town. It's its own body corporate in politics. So even if you didn't wanted to have that in the interlocal agreement, as long as the county is okay with the fact that she worked those hours, the district could pay her for that amount anyway, because they're their own unit.
Originally, we divided it that way because there wasn't enough money from either side to do the whole thing, if I recall.
You know, it's unfortunate we're sitting here almost in May and haven't been able to find a solution to what shouldn't be a difficult problem to save when there's a net savings, but politics and government play into it. It makes it a whole lot harder than it ever needed to be. Frankly, kind of sucks the fun out of my job.
I would make a motion to approve this program going forward and leave it up to the commissioners and the sewer board to do what they want to do with the back pay.
Did everyone on the council hear the motion?
So my motion was this agreement's fine going forward, and the regional sewer board can determine what they want to do about the back pay.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Well, I'll give you a second, but it's, so you're basically saying that's, number 15 is,
Whatever part of this, I'm not
He's out.
reading, whatever.
good.
Yeah.
Is agreeing the whole contract except number 15?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Whatever it has to be to make my motion work.
Including the 40, the hourly, 40,
I,
145.
my motion is whatever,
Okay.
whatever this says with what I said. However it needs to say that, that's what my motion is.
We can amend this interlocal, and I can type it up and print it out and have it just ready to sign, but let me walk through the amendments perhaps that we would need for that. Okay. If we would want to amend number 6 to clarify the word compensation for Chuck's concern, we would add language before the word the district, and it would say, for purposes of this item, compensation means salary, benefits, including pension, and state and local tax contributions. Okay? That would be one amendment. And then number 15, we would strike the back pay provision. And the only other concern that I would have is just the fact that the commissioners may want to acknowledge later at your meeting the fact that you were agreeable to allow her to do that work that she did back in January, so we don't have any ghost employment issues, that you were aware of that, as long as that's somewhere in your minutes, that you had agreed that she would do that. So the amendment would be those two. If you'd like me to state those again.
Mr. Laughlin, are you amenable to the recommendation on that
Sure.
for the amendment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Second is amenable, okay. Is there further discussion?
For clarity, can I ask Ann and Paula, on Mr. Martis's pay, was he getting perf reported on his regional sewer pay, or just his county portion of clean water? It was half and half. And I mean,
I know when I invoice,
where his perf goes up from his regional sewer pay, his benefits for retirement will be higher because of regional sewer. Is that, do we know that?
Total compensation.
Yeah, the total compensation.
Yes.
Nancy, let me interrupt a minute. Mila, I think you can answer that.
In the last invoice that I got, it did include the reimbursement for that portion back to the county. The auditor's office would invoice regional sewer for any benefits, because this was 50/50 split, the county paid half and regional sewer paid the other half. The auditor's office would invoice regional sewer to reimburse the county back for benefits or taxes, and because the county funded it from the general fund, and then regional sewer reimbursed the county back.
That's just what I wanted to clarify. Okay.
Thank you.
So he was receiving perf on his total rate, that half of that was being paid by the sewer district and the other half by the county.
Correct. The county would pay it all first from the general fund and then invoice regional sewer, and regional sewer would pay back to the county.
I thought that's the way it was, but I wasn't sure.
More discussion, further discussion?
It's not clear to me why the increase within the grading. If it's still 30, then it is. And the fact that more hours are being worked, to me, I need more information to justify the increase within the grading.
She's not willing to do the job.
I'm sorry?
She's not willing to do the job without the increased pay.
And
Is that what you're
Larry,
asking?
To me,
Larry,
that's not a good enough reason.
Then, I mean, the option's hiring somebody else. I mean, she's taken on a great deal of extra work. Everybody in this building has additional capacity, whether we're pushing it or not. I have no doubt. She's chosen to take it, but not without additional compensation. I mean, our option is to hire somebody to replace Jim at $120,000.
So, but doesn't this agreement say that the sewer board is reimbursing us for the part above what she was being paid now? So then I don't, that's
Well, I think we discussed it, some of the technical and maybe all the technical stuff, we're working cooperatively with Aqua. Aqua's they're gonna carry the burden, at least in my estimation, of what Jim Martis is doing. And maybe moving the ball a little faster.
I would say, in addition to what's been said from the commissioner's side, and he's retired, but Jim was not doing the job that should have been done, quite frankly.
I agree.
And the three of us as commissioners should have been all over that sooner. It's our fault. The work that needs to be done for the regional sewer district function, combined with the work that Mila does, is a lot more work. That's why we increased the hours, so that she would move up to the 40 hours, but also the responsibility, we're gonna have to bond her. She handles a lot of money from regional sewer that was not being done before at all. And there's other things that she will be doing for regional sewer that even Jim was not doing, that she knows now needs to be done. And it's a lot more, and that's why we felt like increasing the pay in grade 30. We really thought it would grade out to a higher grade, and that would take care of it, but it didn't. So we looked at where she's paid now and what the top of that range is, and that's why we moved it to there. It's probably not even enough, quite frankly, but that's what it is.
We had handwritten checks for as long as I was on the Hendricks
Yeah.
Regional Sewer Board to pay our bills,
Crazy.
which is a small task, but we now have computer-generated printed checks. So
Well, I think it should give,
accounting software that aligns with debits and credits.
it should give no small amount of comfort that, Aqua, who, when they have their own attorney comes to the meetings, their engineers come, their representative come. They're working with the town of Liston already, they're working with the town of Clayton. We're gonna encourage them, as I am, to work with all the municipalities on the west side, because with Senate Bill 1, we're gonna have to figure out a way, somebody's gonna have to figure out a way, who's gonna operate the septic plants that Aqua can, with nationwide influence and money, they can do. I really feel comfortable working with them.
Who's going to be coordinating and overseeing that stuff?
The
Commissioners,
commissioners do.
Yeah.
as the board, sewer
Yeah.
board,
Yeah.
we are the regional sewer board as well.
We have direct
Yeah.
influence over them, absolutely.
It can consume as much time as the commissioners roll at time.
Rhonda, if I may ask a question, I know this agreement is cancelable with proper notice. If the agreement is canceled, does that negate the pay raise that Mila is going to get in regards to this agreement? So would she return to her previous pay rate?
She would, this would just
It'd just go away?
go away.
Okay.
And keep in mind that the pay raise she's getting is really being paid by the district.
Yeah,
So
and I know that, I just.
We could do this a lot of different ways.
I didn't want the county to be
Yeah.
on the hook if, say, the district decided 2 weeks from now
Yeah.
to just trash this, then I don't want the county to be on the hook for the difference if we were stuck with it, so.
I think what the county is really allowing to happen is to share a job, to let Mila have time to work on this other job for the RSD. RSD is going to pay for that time. The county's just agreeing that it works for both of you to make that happen.
But the work that's being done for the county, what Mila would continue to do will still be paid at a higher rate than what is being paid now.
I guess you could say that, but if you look at the district's paying part of that, the county's not
It
paying.
doesn't matter.
But the amount of money it will take to solve this problem another way is a larger number.
It's definitely not, right? Marta's is being
Without a
paid
doubt.
at rate 36.
Yeah.
So, definitely,
We're solving an interim problem with 20 grand versus 100 or 120.
maybe 150.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
And
I think it's that simple.
And quite frankly, I will say this, that sitting here talking about this and these numbers with Mila sitting here, it is uncomfortable for her, but it also says, why am I not worth more than what you're even willing to pay me when this other guy that you had was being paid X, and I'm gonna be doing actually more than what he was doing because he wasn't doing his job very well. And we know that now, quite frankly. And if he's listening,
Sorry, but
Sorry.
not sorry.
Well, if we were to magically hire somebody, to me, it would be a duplication of service, because Aqua is going to represent us with the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission, they're representing us with Monrovia. It would just be, it would be duplication. This works much better, I think.
Like 4 emails a week I get related to Hendricks Regional Sewer, I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna need to hire that person.
Yeah.
Kidding a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's 4 emails in the county right now.
Call for the question.
Okay, we have call for the question. Pardon me? Roll call, well, we probably will, but all those in favor of the amended motion, and with a second, pardon me?
I think you need a roll call.
Okay. All those in favor of the motion signify by raising your hand, arm.
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3. All those opposed to the motion, raise your arm. We have 4. So it
Whatever,
does not pass 3 to 4.
whatever solution we come to is gonna be a lot more complicated than when we just voted down.
There's other ways to structure it, though, so I wouldn't give up yet.
Take our alternate approach.
Yeah,
There could be a contract. We could make this interlocal agreement that's
We've got it.
only allowing, the time to be spent out of her county day. There's other approaches.
Okay.
Yep.
Let me ask a question. Well, okay, you already voted. I think she needs to be compensated sooner than later for the work she's already put in. Going forward, yes, she's gonna, I'm assuming she will, continue the work. She may not.
May not.
She may tell us, thanks, guys. That doesn't mean she's leaving employment from the county. She may say, regional sewer, I'm done, but I would like to be paid for what I've done up to this point. I'm assuming that we will pay her, we the commissioners, through the regional sewer district, will pay her for that and get her compensated so that can be handled. And then we'll figure out what needs to be done going forward. Is that okay?
Yeah, as you run with any contract, I mean, if you hire somebody to fill in after he left, you'd be paying him for the service,
Right.
the work done.
Okay.
He's doing that work, but yeah, I would say
All right.
seriously, you need to pay her for that.
So that motion failed. Is there any other motions, though, that you want to talk about?
Hearing, seeing none, I believe we'll move on.
Okay.
Our discussion here is concerning the capital improvement plan discussion among the commissioners and the council. We have a long list of proposed projects that have been submitted by members of the council and by the members of the commissioners. And there's 27 on this one listing, and there may be a couple that from the most recent commissioners thing, but I believe most all of them, if not all of them, are on the list of the 27, or some they would be on there. What we're trying to do today is to establish what projects, actually, the capital improvement program can span from the present out to a 10, 20-year time period. Projects that we're thinking that, or we believe to be needed or whatever, that are more current, are more likely to be able to put a cost, an estimated cost to it, and a potential construction start date, and as well as a priority. And there can be more than one number one priority. There can be 2 or 3 of them at the same time, depending on the funding availability. So what we're attempting to do is to identify projects over a long period of time, but we, of course, concentrate on the current, but we don't want projects, things that we think that the county may need in the future, we don't want them to disappear. And so a capital improvement program should be reviewed annually, which we have not done in the past, so that there may be projects that would be in there potentially for this year, well, for this capital improvement program of 20 years, but a year, 2, 3 years from now, ones may disappear, others may come into play. So it's a variable set of projects, if you will, and what the needs are and what the funding availability is. And so you'll probably have to bear with us because there's a lot of projects, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of discussion for, against, whatever, timing, that sort of thing. So I don't, does someone want to start the discussion on these projects, or should I get it going?
Let's start it.
Okay. Well, on our list, and I believe Mr. Dawes passed out some extra copies that we have of it.
They're gone.
Oh, they're gone? Well,
So if anybody wants another copy,
Here's an
we're out of
extra.
them right now.
There's another one here too.
Here's a
Yeah.
couple extra.
Yeah, here's a couple. All
So-
right, Catherine.
The first project that's in the list, and the list is not in any type of priority, but the first item is the demolition of the old community building at the East Campus. And a starting number on that is $200,000, plus it could be whatever, but the whole idea here is to get some kind of values established, and then they could be tweaked as there becomes more information, and someone, like a person like John Ayers is going to know what some good cost estimates are on the projects that he's involved with. So there can be input from our staff to help us on these as time goes by. And something may have a tag on it of 15 million, and maybe it should be more, maybe it should be less. So you have to realize we need to kind of be flexible, but we need to be getting some kind of sequencing and order. Now, besides the reason that you need to have a plan of what we're trying to accomplish for the county, also, we need to have, our own thinking, but also we need to have investment advice and financial advice as to how can we fund these projects, and what do we have? Can we fund something by a cash on hand, or do we need to go to some other kind of instrument to be able to do that, such as bonding? We also currently have the ability now, I believe, that we can actually borrow up to, I believe it's $10 million from a bank. So you could have a bank loan for a project rather than bonding it. So there's different combinations. FSG, which is our primary financial advisor, will then take this, what we come up with today, and then try to put together numbers and potential ways to fund them. So this is rather kind of a long introduction, but I wanted to do this so you understand why there's a lot of talk, cussing, discussing, whatever goes on here. So, and I'm sure that the 10 of us will have some difficulties with some of these projects, or timing, or priorities. Mr. Hessen?
We did this a number of years ago, probably 15 years ago, maybe. And at the time, we identified those things that we wanted to have done, but we also established a priority. And I think going through, nothing wrong with starting at the top of the list, but I'm just thinking, when we did this before, there were a number of things that we wanted to do, but number one was the new fairgrounds, because that enabled us then to move on with other things that were depending, that were going to utilize the old fairgrounds. So with respect to number one, the demolition of the old community building, I think that occurrence needs to take into account that we need to have the parks building completed so they can move before we tear down the building around them.
Well, I may be wrong, but I thought that Parks had moved everything out.
Parks are out.
Oh, okay.
I believe the building is empty now.
Okay.
The Parks Department offices have moved to Gibbs, where the old Gibbs residence was a part of it. They're in that house. Yeah.
But there may be other things here that are.
Well, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
So we need to note that, I guess.
Okay. In my thinking, the Justice Center is probably the biggest thing that we have to deal with at this point.
Please don't call it the Justice Center.
Well, I know you have difficulty with that, and I understand that, but a lot of other people don't have a problem.
You want it called an injustice center?
Well, that's what happens sometimes. A judicial center is fine, but.
How about judicial center?
Yeah, judicial center.
All right,
Yeah,
all right.
and they can.
Maybe that's better.
A good idea, let's change that to judicial. Okay.
I make a motion to demo the old community center as soon as possible and pay for it out of food and beverage.
Second.
I'm sorry, we couldn't hear.
I make a motion to demo the old community center as soon as possible, when it's cleaned out or whatever, and pay it out of food and beverage.
There's already a contract for that the commissioner signed last year with the.
Do we already pay, do we put money towards it?
Money appropriated.
Then
Are you,
it's funded, but I'm currently appropriated. This is good.
you're saying the commissioners have already contracted for,
Contracted this last year to have that.
We had Jack on that pretty hard.
Did we appropriate the money for it? I don't remember that. Yeah, I don't remember
But he was
that.
hot on that project last
It
year.
was way less than what we thought, like, I think it was less than $100,000.
take bids on that donation?
I think the contract's been great.
Well, they were.
So all we have to do is knock it down now?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
You might get a demolition permit first.
Okay.
I think the holdup was on that, because they had to wait till the new building out at the fairgrounds got built, to move the voting machines
Oh.
out, the housing. at
And
the
that's-
You are
fairgrounds.
correct.
And that's been, that's
It was the voting
completed.
machines. You're
So I think to Eric's point, after next week, when the machines come out of the old fairgrounds building,
They don't go back.
it'll be pretty much cleaned out. Somebody else in the audience will know that for sure. But that's what the holdup is until the voting machines come out.
Yeah. You're right.
So there's an existing contract to take it out. Okay, I hear.
It's already funded on the list, I guess.
So we don't want to tear it down between now and Tuesday.
The next item on the list is the expansion building at the fairgrounds in order to provide for larger conventions, which they seem,
That's underway. That's been approved by the Fair Board, I think.
It doesn't have any funding.
I was going to say, has the funding been put up?
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, there's no funding there. It just, they,
Okay.
Fair Board would like it,
All
but
right, all right.
So,
And it's been presented to the council. I don't think-
yeah,
I
I
don't
think the
think we're taking
presentation.
action on it.
We've set in meetings, so, yeah.
I'll try to speak on it if I can hold it together, so bear with me. Right now, it's a $17 million plan project. Right now, they're proposing, Bob and I was at a meeting 2 weeks ago, Bob. What they would like to do is they would like to get a $3 million advance, to try to start working on excavation and field work on the project. And that's dealing with ARC and city engineering and roofing. And that would be also incorporating the parking lot to the north end of the buildings, or the amusement park, the amusement rides are during the fair. And that would be putting down a parking lot that would be gravel with the binder on it. Is that the correct term, John Ayers? Binder? Intermediate. That would include that, and the reason why they would like to do that is that would speed this project up by about 6 to 8 months, trying to get this project completed by about the springtime of 2028. We don't have that in our budget. The council did not budget that amount of money. So in order for us to do that, if the council would choose to do that, we would have to do an ordinance. And Greg Garrett's and I have already had that discussion. There's been a discussion with Adam Sturwald as well. And if we want to advance that, we can advance that. Garrett's will tell us what fund that would come out of. I would assume food and beverage or whatever it may come out of. We on the council would have to make a decision, is this going to be an advance as a down payment, or would it be a repayment once we go out to bond? I would prefer that it be a repayment personally. But then that would start the project, getting them started so they can start doing their dirt work, construction work, and grade and all that such. Talking with Garrett's, as far as going out for bonding on this project, we may end up trying to do that in December of this year or January of next, but within the next 12 months is when we would want to try to do that, because the fairground bonds will be paid off in December of 27, payable for January 28. So the tax rate will fall off in 27. So that way we'll be cycled back in at the same rate essentially in 2028. Nancy, does that make sense?
It does, yes. Thank you for that detail on that.
So I
So-
guess from the council side of things, if the council's in agreement to do an ordinance for this 3 million in advance, I would need to know that, or we would need to know that for Rhonda and Veritas and Sturwall, Adam, to do an ordinance for us at our next meeting if the council would like to do that in advance.
Two things are unique about this. The one is that this is an income generating board. They generate income, and make no mistake, you have Tim Wicker in charge. He understands this stuff better than probably anybody in this
That
room.
income's not coming back for the county.
Right.
It's reducing what we have to pay for the fairgrounds operation.
He just understands it.
And this will also maybe help stimulate a little bit to the hotel here in Danville. Sort of a generalized outcome is what we're hoping for. I'll stop with that.
I agree with you. I'm going to do a consensus to
So,
approve this.
So let's put this on our agenda for May meeting for the potential for this 3 million to get things started this year. Is that okay with everyone?
Do I have a consensus from the council to do that?
Is there consensus on that, Ms. Marsh?
Oh, yes.
I'm fine with it on that.
Okay. So we've got a consensus on that,
I'm
okay.
shutting up, get a drink.
Okay, the next item on our list is the judicial, quote, judicial, unquote, center. At the east, to be at the east campus.
I think we still need to have discussion if it's gonna be at the East Campus or downtown. I
We
know,
also need to understand the numbers. We've got
Yes.
two different sheets. We've got 70 million on one, 120 million on the other. We really need to qualify that and what it's gonna take to build one at either location. And then,
I think those numbers were generated, we had those in January of '25.
yeah, but I think the 120 was a combination of improvements here at the existing courthouse and the addition.
It
So
included the government center.
I think there are improvements here, because if we sit here and look at, I don't care, either one of those numbers are so staggering that we all gonna wanna crawl in a hole. But the truth is, we've gotta do something about it.
Well, make no mistake, Danville, the town of Danville wants to be heard on this issue.
As any, and all of these potential projects, we've got to discuss to decide.
Yeah,
I
so
mean, it doesn't have.
Eric
to
and
be-
I have talked extensively about this. One, I think, there's 10 of us here. Town of Danville has a say in it, all the judges have a say in it, the prosecutor has a say in it, because it's gonna be impactful to all of them. I don't know how you move that forward. I can tell you from a little bit of work I did with Dan from Garmong, it's about a $10 million difference of going out east, starting fresh next to jail versus demo, parking garage, and a facility here. So for conversational purposes, this would cost $10 million more. And some people would still like to see it. That decision hasn't been made, and that's not a decision we want to engage in today. But I think it's 70 or 80 and 80 or 90 as far as realistic ranges.
Well, that shooting last month, to me, kind of helped substantiate the need for that to be close to the jail.
I don't-
In my history, anytime you transport prisoners, you run the risk of instances.
Yeah, I don't think that's a decision we want to really go
Not
down
today.
today as far as
No.
where.
when is that decision gonna be made and how are we gonna come about it then?
Yeah, that's not, I take the reins of that.
I think we need to get a member of the commissioners, a member to the council, somebody, a judge or somebody representing the judge, somebody in the town of Danville to sit down and go through what really are the impacts of it being here in town versus the impacts of it being out there, because it's not as clear as it seems to be on the
I
surface.
it's
agree.
not, Eric.
And we want to be respectful about how that decision is made. And like I said, I think Danville, the town, needs to have at least a seat at the table for discussion. The judges certainly do, the prosecutor does, councilman, commissioner.
We recently received a letter from the judges, from all of the judges, indicating that they would favor a justice center at the East Campus so that it was at the location of the jail.
Can I make a,
Uh,
I'm sorry.
Going on.
Can I make a suggestion?
Hey, please come forward. We want to put you in front of the,
You do, that's scary for
right here, yeah.
I'm happy to serve on any committee that you want.
I think you're on that committee, Red. You just had, we
I'm
haven't.
happy to have been volunteer to be on the committee, apparently. I just wanted to make the suggestion that we get sheriffs on board as well.
I agree.
And public defender, and I think you said prosecutor or public defender's office might be involved too. I just wanted to make sure that we were getting all the
Completely agree.
the stakeholders at one table to have a discussion. That's all I wanted to suggest. It's just a couple other parties, but I'm already on the committee.
You are.
I appreciate finding that out today. That's awesome. That's what I was just wanting to say, was I think sheriff and defender, a few others need to be involved, but I'm happy to sit down.
I think you were volunteered.
I'm happy to
I
do all
think
those.
that's correct.
As far as safety goes, though, this building here is just as secure as the building out there, unless somebody hijacks a van between here and there. Because you're gonna pull into a locked door, sally port here, just the same way you are over there. So unless somebody hijacks the van on the way between here and there, the safety factor is gonna be the exact same inside the building.
You're right. And,
You really wanted to go there today, didn't you?
I just,
the next project on the list is the courthouse expansion to the south and/or the west.
that's the same
for-
project.
For it being located there.
One and the same. It's either or, not
It's,
both.
yes.
Right, so, yeah. And so those two things are there, and I would think they need to be resolved soon, because there's going to need to be a lot of more current information and what's going to be needed. And I know there's several of us, including me, think that all of the different offices that have to do with judicial, with justice, all of them need to be located out there. So with the idea that the courthouse, once it was vacated, would then be a lot of things would be modernized from the interior,
Updated, repurposed.
updated, and the repurposing on it would be to move the offices that are here at the government center, to move those into the courthouse.
A few of the offices here.
There's not room to move this, there's not even close enough room to
Well,
move this building.
there could be more room added on the west side.
That building
So-
needs torn down.
Well, we can argue about it, I'm just talking about there is the potential. And the idea, as far as from the town standpoint, is that these government center offices could generate much more retail around the courthouse square than actually the judicial does. Because the lawyers, the felons or whatever that are coming in, they're not doing retail, whereas other people would be. Because we have a steady stream of traffic for this building. So I'm just telling you what there is discussions. And so that also is in here too. So there's all these different combinations, which we need to get this worked out.
Some years back, going back, the county conducted a study regarding expansion of the courthouse, building at the East Campus, and we had drawings and so forth, pros and cons. And, I would suggest that we would do well to pull those out again and have a look, so we're not actually starting from ground zero.
Well,
They're only about
to-
30 months old.
Pardon?
Those are only about 36 months old.
Really?
The last space study? Yeah, I'd say.
No, I'm talking about,
Well, but Larry, there's a more current thing. The space study was done for here, and space study for at the courthouse, a space study for out at the government center.
About 3 years.
And we on the committee saw that in January of '25, almost a year and a half ago. So that kind of work has already been done, which would probably need to be revisited.
Well, what I'm thinking of is years ago, where options were given us of expanding the courthouse south and also west.
Especially
As
just
options. And I think those are still decisions that need to be made and taken into consideration.
Yeah, that's something that we've got to work out, which obviously we can't get it done here today, but we need to address it. And that's mainly what this list is for, is to identify these various things so we can then work on that to get that narrowed down.
I think we're blessed that we have a couple options with the west side of the square, current courthouse, the east campus, and this facility here. And I think there's more than one option. I don't think there's one perfect option, but I think there's a lot of options. There's no opportunities. To even take some things and take them off. Back on the tax rates as well. A little bit of what I think your philosophy is, Brad, but I'm going to expand your thoughts further than what you're thinking. I'll take you to the farm.
Yes, I was at the committee, so go ahead.
Yeah. On another project underneath the courthouse expansion is the need for a roundabout at Main Street, Jerry Kirtley Boulevard, and the East Campus Boulevard because of all the activity out there, which one of our council persons submitted. We've already talked about the other. Next
Hold
to-
on. John, that's been in discussion with,
Yeah,
with the town even?
It was, and if I remember right, the town did a traffic study there, but I don't remember what the results were. I don't recall though that they recommended a roundabout at this time.
Okay.
But I think ultimately they would be.
Yeah, you're activating my memory that I do recall that being done and they did not recommend it.
Right.
And is that 2 or 3 years ago
Yeah, a
maybe?
couple years ago probably.
Yeah.
But I think at some point that is.
Probably needs to be reevaluated.
So maybe an interim signal and a roundabout at some point in the future.
Okay. Also, then on page 2, which is where it starts reaching out in the time, is
Larry, real quick, back on courthouse interior, so on. I know Dennis is here, our facilities director, but there's probably some work we're gonna need to do to the courthouse before we decide anything. And I know the HVAC system is a mess there. And no matter what we do, what goes in there stays, or what goes out to the east campus, that building's gonna stay, and we're gonna have to do some things to it anyway.
Correct.
So just so everybody's aware of that.
Well, yeah, the courthouse is so historical.
Right.
Significance, and that we need to keep that in good shape.
Sure. Then that stuff have to be done right away.
Some of it probably will need to be done before decisions are made and/or completed to move to the east campus, if that's where it ends up. So that's why I brought it up, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, anything needs to be done right away, we probably should start scheduling.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Dennis, for bringing that up.
While we're talking about the courthouse. More than 50 years ago, but I don't know, everybody's been in the courthouse, but there's a beautiful, could be more beautiful, stained glass area in the rotunda that is lighted by a few floodlights.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a skylight above that, and more than 50 years ago, the glass was covered over because apparently there were leaks. And I had inquired about opening that up maybe 40 years ago and was told it was too expensive. For those of you who have been in courthouses that have stained glass rotundas, it's, well, I'm sort of ashamed of ours. The courthouse would be so much brighter if in fact there was sunlight coming in and coming through that stained glass. I don't know, I'm sure the technology has improved a lot since that was, the glass was covered over many years ago. But I'd like to see an effort made to open that up again and have sunlight streaming through that stained glass.
I would think that that needs to be on the list of things in rehabbing and updating the courthouse. We've got to remember, I mean, it's just gorgeous in the Rotunda area. We also have to remember that it's one of the few courthouses that a president of the United States has given an address. So there's definitely historical stuff there. Yeah, that's for sure.
Just a quick comment on that. First off, here, I'm a new
Come up so we can hear you.
Hello, if you haven't met me, I'm Dennis Eichman, I'm new facilities manager. I just want to make a quick comment because it struck me real quick. The idea of protecting the stained glass and covering it was really a good idea. With today's lighting, the LED, that might be an option to look into to see if we can provide an overall coverage lighting of the stained glass to give us that same image as the sunlight without the, something falling through, the roof leaking, causing damage to the stained glass. So I can look into that in the near future and see if I get some quotes for that.
Great, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dennis. Moving on, hard to think of it today, but the jail might need expanded sometime. So we put a value, an estimated cost of X million, and a start construction date of 2040. So if you care to think out that far. However, that said, as the sheriff can verify, this jail is designed so that, I think I'm saying the right thing, it could be doubled. Right now, I think the magic number of inmates is 599, but we'll say 600, that it could become 1,200. It wouldn't have to be done in one shot either, I don't think, because there's these different units that could be used around there without adding staff or very much staff. So I don't know if you want to make a comment on that, Jack? Or?
Yeah, so 599 beds, that's not, long-term housing. We're closer to 540 that can be long-term housed. They added those numbers in for some of that temporary housing for inmates. So yes, could we put 599 in there? Yes, but long-term, 540 would be more comfortable. But yeah, we can double the size. They left up that second floor area of the medical side to double the size of medical, same bookend. And then on the east side, there's that open area to be able to put 2 pods that would put everything in the center. So the design was to be able to double the size of the facility. I think you'd have to build a shell. You're going to add pods on one side. On the east side, you could put a north pod or a south pod in on the east side, but there needs to be a shell around that like there is at the current facility. So whether you want to put in both sets of pods, when you're doing this, or if you just wanted to do one and then add the other rate, I think you could do either. But as far as numbers wise go, I think we're still averaging under 350. We're doing fine as far as housing goes.
On your recent jail report to us,
Yeah.
we're under 300.
Yeah.
So so we're doing.
So we dropped them to 300 earlier, towards the end of last year.
They're not good.
Around there for a while. We're up to 340 plus. So summer months, when it gets warmer.
Yeah.
Here's what money they get.
Around Christmas.
Or my break.
That works, right? So, but yeah, I mean, obviously, it's not something that we need anytime soon, or should need anytime soon, but,
welcome those conversations. Obviously, in 2040, I will be long gone, but whoever that may be can kind of help you through that process.
Yeah, okay, well, thank you. The next one on here is one that yours truly put on, the Miles Family Home, which the county acquired this winter. And it's truly awesome inside and to be probably considered part of our museum operation, or it could have meetings or whatever. Well, it's me, I put the 200,000 in there because when I was out there, probably if you're going to have, of course it'd be small gatherings and things, but you're probably gonna need some parking and some other things done to make that happen. So I put that in there and for next year, for 2027. So if we're going to get it going soon. I know all three commissioners, I believe, were there, have been in it. And the next one is the Ronald Reagan Parkway completion, which would be from 1,000 north to the Boone County line, which is 1 mile. And I threw in $8 million for that. We already own the right of way, as I understand.
Right.
So it'd be a matter of construction. However, from a priority standpoint, it would be a low priority for us, I would think, because Boone County originally signed an agreement with our commissioners to cooperate in this whole thing. The environmental study, John, you'll need to correct me if I'm wrong. The environmental study was already done all the way to the interchange at 267 and I-65. Then the Boone County commissioners backed out of their agreement. Well, now in the interim since then, now that area to go up through Boone County could possibly, you'll have Zionsville to deal with because they're on our north border now. Fayette, Indiana, by the way, happens to be part of Zionsville now. You've got Whitestown to deal with, potentially Lebanon, because Lebanon has been reaching pretty far down, and Boone County. So I don't know if there's anything recent on who's trying to run the show. They built a new interchange up there.
Right, there's more activity, it's actually all in the town of Whitestown or Zionsville. So there's been more activity recently between the two towns on wanting to move things forward. Whitestown's a little more aggressive about it than Zionsville. My understanding is they're included in their capital improvement plans to do their part of it. But ultimately, there's no point in us building anything until they do something down
Right.
the county line. So we're, schedule-wise, we're at their mercy.
And I'm sure I'll be on record here today, but I think it's fantastic that we've got our right-of-way to the Boone County line, because they can do all the arguing and stuff they want to do, but they've got to come to us now.
Right, there's a connection point there, what they do north of that.
Yes.
It's up to them, and when that happens, it's up to them.
And
And then
so-
once they do that, or we know when they're gonna do that, then we can plan on our final mile. My
So-
guess is construction costs probably closer to 12 to 15.
Oh, whoa, I'm in the
12,
past.
I'm guessing, well, looking at what we're paying for the 2.5 miles we're doing right now, I'm guessing 12. But that's gonna depend a lot on when that happens.
Mr. President, what the issue was at Whitestown, Boone County Commissioners didn't opt out necessarily. Whitestown had annexed into there, and they chose not to use their TIF dollars that they originally, the Boone County Commissioners, when we met with them, there was a pledge there, but then they got annexed, and those TIF dollars were then belonged to Whitestown, and they did not want to use the TIF dollars for that purpose. Jeff Wolf told me that.
Okay,
For a fact.
thank you for clarifying that.
From our standpoint, maybe the easiest solution is we take it to the Boone County line and let them
Then people use that
hook it
to
up
know where to turn.
however they want.
Yeah,
Because there's no termination point, there's no road to intersect.
I think it's important that we work together with them
Yeah.
as best we can to get it where it needs to be. Yeah.
So at sometime, we don't know when, but at some time that'll become a priority for Hendricks County. The old highway garage parcel, what to do with that as far as demolition, retain the parcel, sell it, whatever.
That should be a net zero deal. I mean, I would think we wouldn't have any money invested in that.
I would think that there would actually be funds coming in if we sell it.
Yeah, I would
So,
hope. We shouldn't have any costs.
The next one is the county fuel station, whether upgrade, relocate, alternate. I think the commissioners have been thinking about something different, maybe perhaps. I've got a question from a physical engineering standpoint. Those tanks at where the station is right now, I believe are fiberglass. And they were installed, I am pretty sure, about 1990, 91, 92.
I think so.
I heard that you, John, had said that those tanks need to be replaced.
We have been told they are nearing the end of their lives, yes.
It shocked me at first because in that time period, from my engineering background and stuff, that's why fiberglass was put in, so that they didn't rust and then we glued the ground.
But we're being told by the inspectors and by the state that they're nearing the end of their life.
Okay,
I
so
don't
they're,
understand it either. I'm like you, I thought there'd be more than 35 years life in those, but
yeah,
that's what we need.
yeah, because I believe they were being sold with the idea that they had that kind of life. So, but 35 years now, whatever. So that's some kind of a decision thing something will have to happen on that.
Well, I think we can use those pumps until we dispose of the truck.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
There's a level of urgency, but it's.
And are you thinking about relocating it or going to a card system?
I am. I don't want to use the card system.
I think you have to understand the cost of
Well,
new
and-
versus the added expense for a card in your
And
ROI.
Mr. Cox has been looking into that.
Well,
For the council.
Todd or John can speak. I know at the new highway garage being built, there's gonna be gas pumps there for the highway department to use and so on, but not for everybody else.
Right, it's
So-
being designed as just highway department over
Right,
gas.
right.
Right.
So these pumps will remain and can be used until we decide what we're gonna do, whether it's get people credit cards or whatever, so.
Because a lot of our agencies and departments use that,
Yes.
is my understanding.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Based on experience, I wouldn't want to give up too much storage, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm still burning fuel that I bought from last spring.
Okay.
And you never know when somebody gets the urge to start pushing buttons in the Persian Gulf. So don't get too nervous about constructing anything, because storage is very important.
Yeah, it is. The next item is the juvenile detention facility, which Mr. Hessen brought up in our listing. That there's been talk about that in the past, whether you have a regional one or all kinds of stuff. But I don't know that, I would think that that's low priority at this point, if any priority. What time is it now?
Agreed.
Okay. Next is, I believe it's 3 roundabouts at State Road 39 and I-70.
They were the drainage board.
Okay.
Those are moving ahead.
Are they,
Yeah.
so they're happening soon, all 3 of them? Or at least-
The two that are north of 70 will go first, and then the one that we're responsible for south of 70 will be the third one. And probably the two north of 70 will be built within the next 2 years, maybe. Hopefully in 27. We have commitments from one developer to join us in the cost of those, and we're talking to the other developers to put money into the cost of those as well.
Oh, great.
And so, and the state will put money in also.
And is the 12 million still, as far as that would be our county?
No,
I think it's that much.
no.
Hopefully 12 million is total.
Yeah.
Total for
8 for us.
Yeah.
8 for us.
If that, may not be 8, okay. So, yeah.
Then on page 3, plans for 1,000 north, east of the Ronald Reagan. Because
That's really important, I think.
that's east of it. West of it, get it to 267 is under construction, or will be this year. I
Well, the
believe.
fact that Boone County hasn't made much of, or people in Boone County haven't made much of a move yet, all that traffic's gonna go up there to 1,000, over to
And-
267.
So
So there are
we've
gonna be
gotta-
improvements over there.
We gotta get them over.
But we need to get all the way to the Marion County line.
Yeah. Is that a low priority to the east on 1,000 northeast of Ronald Reagan?
I don't think it's low priority.
No,
But it's off for a
It's
while.
not, yeah, it's not immediate.
it's too expensive.
Well used.
And John, we're currently already planning for work where Ronald Reagan ties in and then going west to
Right.
267.
And that's under design now, and
Right.
scheduled for a wedding in December.
Yeah.
Go west.
Yeah, I know
So, but you're talking about the, it's going.
Dave told me.
Yeah, because they've already got the right of way and they're removing trees already and stuff.
That's going.
Okay.
At least they got.
Then we have the county airport for an extension of the runway and to close County Road 150 South. My understanding, there's like a 5,000-foot runway now, but if that were bumped up to 6,000 or 7,000, then private jets and business jets could be landing there.
They can land the small jets there now if they don't have jet fuel.
But it's a little,
They'd
yeah,
rather have a little more.
yeah, I'd like to have it a little longer. Because that could fit in with development that's going on 39 and 70, I would think.
Well, if we think about doing that, I think we've had a number of complaints, a very small number, very focused on the noise. We might want to think about buying those people out.
You start that never ends. You know,
It
I would
could.
put that burden on the airport authority.
Well, yeah,
We've had
that'd be
two
fine.
unhappy
That'd be fine.
individuals that.
Well, you know,
come to the-
Phyllis, Fred, they got bought out by Indianapolis Airport Authority on
I
that same
mean,
type of issue.
expanding the runway out there is really the airport authority's
Correct.
responsibility.
Yeah, I don't think it'd have to put
Not
any.
the county.
It would be the airport authority to fund that, not
I would
us.
think so. We
Correct.
do not own that.
And that's great.
Yeah,
That's great.
we don't own the
But it would
airport.
impact our
Oh, I'm
county
glad,
road.
I'm
Yeah.
glad to understand
Yeah.
that.
We have a, what's the board called? I sit on it, but we don't have any authority. That is all
Yeah.
called.
Yeah. We have an advisory
Yeah.
board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which also means
We can have some impact.
no
on that.
influence.
Right.
We could.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
But I think they would like to be able to bring jets in there at some point.
Right.
okay.
Small
Now,
jets.
This,
Right.
okay, this next one will raise some eyebrows probably. A hotel to support conventions at the fairgrounds, a private county joint venture to the expansion of the fairgrounds, and then a kind of well, not similar, but maybe in a way to what we did at Plainfield with the,
Convention
My only
Center
comment-
Bureau. I think Convention Bureau would need to take the lead on that.
They do.
I know of the 3 developers who have pursued building that hotel, and it does not pencil out whatsoever. They are really not good return on investments for the developer, but the benefit's real.
well,
Alan,
And what we did in
I-
Plainfield was we
Gave
built the
$5
convention,
million.
for the convention center, not the hotel.
True.
And we were building the convention center with the fairgrounds, so
Good point.
if they want to build a hotel and it works
I
with
too
it.
have gotten that information about it's not viable right now.
I
But
was privy to the numbers, and I was like, that's really a bad
Well,
investment.
Well,
From a
Alan,
private standpoint.
Well, yeah, at this standpoint,
Maybe 20 million
it
bucks
could
to
be
build it.
sometime 10 years down the road.
Alan Belmonte, who was the manager of one of the hotels there in
He owned it,
Ellensburg,
didn't he?
he was not real thrilled about the government giving him
Gives
competition.
them unfair advantages.
It did,
Yeah, I think he was at least part owner of the hotel there in Brownsburg.
yeah.
If there would be any peripheral construction costs by the county when the state finally does do a Danville bypass.
I'll be dead.
So, but
That's the
that's
best
out.
problem.
Because and
None of us will be here.
Oh,
having been at the
Are
state
you
in
in
the
favor of
past,
helping us out of it?
I mean,
We're not.
you're talking
If it ever
10,
happens,
15
we'll talk
years
about it.
or more just to even try to get it started.
If they started
Well, then I
today,
may
it wouldn't
be
be
the only
done
one that
for
won't be.
start construction for
Well,
5 years.
Right.
You would be the only one.
Yeah, you'll be here. Next, we've got 911 capital expenses. Can we expect capital expenses with that in the next 10, 20 years?
The biggest thing is
Well-
gonna be renewing the switch whenever that comes due. I don't think, have they built us yet?
Yes.
That's
They
already
did?
We
done.
got the bill.
But I know, but that has to be done. They're gonna, trust me, it'll be, the switch will need to be redone and,
2 more years.
Oh,
Motorola needs some.
yeah.
it'll.
But I think there's enough money in that fund to,
they
I think
don't-
it's self-supporting now, isn't it?
pretty
Yeah.
close, well, until,
Yeah.
for now it is, yes.
But the replacement switch has already been done and it's already been paid.
Right, but I'm just saying that
Yeah.
switch is gonna need to be done in probably 5 to 7 years
Okay.
again, like it always is.
There's
Are they
compensation for
are they
Motorola,
retaining
but
any
nobody wants to
funds? Eric, are they retaining any funds to?
We've got that, there is a bunch of money,
Yeah,
right?
basically,
In the PSAP.
In the PSAP, we have plenty of money in there.
Oh, you know.
For the construction of the
New construction, new what?
well, if they need another, if they need to add their facility or change.
No,
the
we don't have that right
Plainfield
now.
come see us when they're ready.
Plainfield will come to us when they're ready to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it's really under Plainfield.
Yeah,
Well, I know that,
But
they do a great job with it. I
They
mean,
do.
they really do.
so
Yeah.
we wouldn't need
I
to be.
don't think we need to worry
concerned about
about
that.
any capital expansion.
We've got a meeting
dollars
Ever.
at all.
tomorrow or next week on it. I'll let you know. I'll
So,
ask that question.
so maybe we should eliminate that from this list,
It doesn't.
Yeah, I would eliminate that, yep.
okay? From a general standpoint, major bridge projects, John, what we put in here is X million in 2030 to 2040, not
That sounds
knowing.
about right, close to mine.
Could it,
Plus or minus a Y.
I can put together a list for the 10-year.
well, if you will, that would give us a little bit more information. Then under road improvements, for the next 20 years, things such as intersection and added travel lanes for our existing roads where the volumes go up and we need to do things too in there. So that's just a category in a way, rather than specific projects.
I can do the same thing there, I'll put together a list of ones that I think would benefit the things.
Okay. And then we have county parks improvements. And following that, we have additional county parks. If we are thinking of having more than parks than we've got now.
Well, the Parks Department offices and a welcome center at the Gibbs Park that exists now. That project's already underway, and that's a $5 million project.
I think we funded
So
that.
that's already funded there, that's going.
Yeah.
So as far as new parks, I don't know the answer to that.
Well, I mean, it's one of those far out,
Right.
who knows?
I mean, I think it's a great idea, and,
The opportunity presents itself.
right. Oh, we had one presented to us this morning in the commissioners meeting, but anyway.
Then we have perhaps east-west corridor plans. That we had, as I recall, there were east-west corridor plans a long time ago for like 100 North and 21st Street stuff. But it's just a vague category thing that who knows what'll come in. And what about the county home future? Will we have capital investments there?
That's a good question.
That is.
James and I have met within the past month and talked. As you know, right now, that facility is under the management and the employees work for the hospital. So capital dollars have come from the hospital for things that have been done at the county home. The question that is kind of in the air is how long will Hendricks Regional Health want to maintain that, and will they want to turn it back over to the county, I guess, so to speak? and that be our responsibility. We don't know the answer to that. We do, the three of us do have a meeting with the hospital board in June, and that's a question we can ask them.
So it's just something to leave on here
Yeah.
that's potential future.
Leave it on there because there's very few, quote, county homes left in the whole state of Indiana. This is probably the best one going across the state, I would say.
There's probably less than 10.
If
I think it's less than 10, Larry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if any of us weren't aware of it, Jim, who's the manager, so on, he's a great guy.
He is.
His family lives in Oklahoma or somewhere, and he lives in a room in the county home.
Oh, wow.
And he has an agreement to do that, and so on, but that's what he does.
Oh, my
Yeah.
gosh.
That's amazing.
To wrap this up, the last item, which may seem pretty wild right at the moment, however, I'm going to comment on this, is water. Consider the need for a county reservoir. Now, that's just the conceptual kind of thing, I mean, location, that's all whatever. But the water thing in Brown Township and in part of Lincoln Township, we may have a problem up there because the water company, or whatever they're called now, putting in this big pipeline to supply water to the LEAP project at Lebanon out of Eagle Creek Reservoir. As they were negotiating, or whatever, I don't even know, they may be negotiating with a sledgehammer, but the property owners that they were getting the easements or whatever from asked if they could then tap into that for their use. Yeah, because most of them up in there don't have municipal water. They were denied. They have no access to that water on that pipeline, which then raises the flag. Whoa, we put millions of dollars into the Ronald Reagan. We want that Ronald Reagan to go on up to I-65. And development in Brown and Lincoln Township, are we going to be denied water for future development? So that's one of the reasons why this is on here. And that,
Well, Larry, to give you a little bit of comfort, Tom and I allowed Indiana University School of Geology and Water they drilled on us for a week, and Henry Loop, the geologist, will be giving us all the data. He said it's going to take them, because they're drilling in like 6 other locations in the county, and they will give us all that data they will provide to Tom and me and the county. So we will know what the aquifers have.
well, that's good. Mr. Dawes had told me some time ago that Banning Engineering was doing a watershed, so maybe it's not Banning.
They gave us a proposal
They
to
just
have
put-
one
yeah,
done.
we haven't-
We
oh,
have
they
not
haven't started
agreed to have it done.
We don't need to do that.
Oh, a
And I
proposal.
I
so-
don't think it's
so,
something we can pursue.
I
No,
know
we don't.
for myself, because I live in Brown, I've had several constituents contacting me about the concern, not only about the water thing, because I'm thinking more of our future development up there, but their concern of their ability and what the effect could be on Eagle
You know-
Creek Reservoir as far as the environmental thing.
LEAP is going to have to return that water, and they're not putting the return line in now, but they're not going to receive the same water that they sent.
But
That's part of the issue.
But the return is farther north on Eagle Creek, I believe.
It's supposed to be returned, what I've been told, it's supposed to be returned to Eagle Creek.
Yeah, so, but we don't know what that return of the water,
It'll have to be treated after it won't be the same water you get back.
I think I've talked for more than long enough. Is there any,
We need to add one project on it, didn't make the list, and the commissioners talked about it, well, we talked about it this morning at the recycling district. There's been discussion at the recycling district, which Chuck and Nancy said on, that the commissioners had conceptually offered up some property south of the new highway garage or the recycling district to build a facility that would house their administration and serve as a drop-off location. I think it would be a great asset to the county. We got as far along as talking conceptual designs, and conceptually, the way I saw it being funded was to capture, I'm going to use just round numbers, the district has $1 million that they could put into this project. I think the county owns the building. I think we capture the $1 million from the recycling district, and the county kicks in $2.5-ish million to get them a nice facility that'll serve the county. So look at it as a $3.5–4 million project, and they'd like to go yesterday.
And we've asked Greg Sturwalt to begin to work on a lease.
Like a memorandum of understanding, a letter of intent between the commissioners and the recycling district.
This was gonna happen
In essence, lease the building.
at the fairgrounds facility in 20.
Right, that was gonna be more of an all administrative and education. This is gonna serve as a recycling drop-off. I really think it's a use, I mean, we have a phenomenal director that runs the district, and, you know, I can only think that he would be replaced by someone greater than when he decides to retire, but there's good momentum, he does good work. I think if the council would find $2.5–3 million to fund the difference, it would be well served to our county.
No problem.
Before you put the cart in front of the horse, would you consider maybe looking at the old highway garage?
I don't know why we wouldn't consider it.
Just-
Conceptually, I like it a little further east because it gets more centrally located to Avon, Plainfield, Brownsburg versus Danville. And I think that location would serve Danville well. And I think it would be an underuse of the property where the highway garage is now, but we would absolutely need to.
Just thinking that.
Absolutely. I like it further east, but we own either parcel.
Yeah.
We might adversely impact the value of the parcel in Danville if we do that for another user, right? Or it could collaborate with another user, like if Danville wanted it, then we could piggyback on that. The downside to that would have delayed the project.
We redo the pumps where they're at, and then we build that for them there. It most that purpose. You have over 20 agencies using that pump. And I think it would be a madhouse to try to change that.
But if I hear the tanks need replaced in 5 years, I would be scared to death to know what that costs. And the environment, I'd rather get rid of that land. With that,
The other,
I'd rather put that environmental burden on some other agency. Let's shed that liability.
the other comment project, Sheriff, you have shell space on your second floor that you're building out now or want to build out, or?
Yeah, so we're in the process, Dennis has been helping since he's been here, less than 2 months now.
Right.
So he's kind of come in on that project, but what we're looking at, the designs are done, looking at adding 9 office, location up there for 9 offices, a conference room, and then 2 training rooms. Okay. Up there on space, that's above the administrative office.
Yeah.
We should be able to pay out of that, out of whatever's left in the
There should,
Yes.
there should be money.
bond issue, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, very good.
Yeah, no, it looks pretty good.
But at least gets on our list, so, yeah.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. Yep.
Animal shelter? Animal shelter?
Animal shelter is 80% done, maybe 70% done as far as the capital work done on that building by Garmong. That's ongoing, and that was $500,000.
That's already funded.
That's already funded, yeah.
We're having some issues with the HVAC vendors and
Yeah.
specs, so that
It's about
still hold up trying to get qualified
2,000.
vendors to give us proposals.
I have such a unique brain if I don't write it down.
That's okay. Yeah.
Mr. Heston, do you have any comments? We're gonna wrap up.
Sounds like everything, everything I can think of.
That's what we've talked about a lot.
Yeah.
No, sir, thank you.
Mr. Wyatt?
One last thing, I would ask the commissioners to look into the Central Indiana Regional Development Authority, or CERTA. It is what all of Hamilton County big towns are in, cities are in Hamilton County, and some of Hendricks County cities are in. It's a big planning district that's eligible for federal and state grants for development and that type of thing, so it'd be great for our county to be a part of it.
What's the
CERTA,
fee?
I don't, it's not much at all, but the amount of money that's coming through there now is,
Okay. So that.
talk to Mark Harebrant.
We would have a representative
Yes.
to go there?
Yeah.
Like you?
Or Todd.
Todd?
I could if I needed to, but
Got it.
it needs to be more, it's more of an executive position than a.
Okay. Okay. Very good.
Nancy and, okay, I am going to adjourn.
Okay.
I guess my comments aren't important.
They're not?
Well, you have more, I thought you just did.
That was Nancy.
Well, I asked
Oh.
Eric, he turned,
I just said no.
I asked him before Nancy.
Anyway.
So Eric, you got more?
No, I just,
Oh.
Brad, do you have anything?
I do. I think, we've had good conversations, but it's the same conversation we've had. Most of the people in here are really interested in what we're going to do with the judicial center. And we're no further along after this meeting than we were the last meeting. And it's a painful one. I'm not going to be in this position a long time. So I think this leadership needs to move that project forward and be able to put it on some kind of timeline. Because if we wait 3 more years, they're not moving in it for 6 or 8 more years. And it's probably the most pressing project within the county. I don't know how we get there, and I don't want to chair that committee, but I think we need to move that forward and understand how many dollars it is and what kind of timelines it really on, and where's it going to go, instead of having a conversation, have another meeting 12 or 18 months, and rehashing the same conversation we had. I don't know how we're going to fund a $60 or $70 million, construction project, and I'd probably vomit signing my name on that, but we may not have a choice. So that's my call to action, is let's quit talking about that. We know we need it.
At a certain time in the past, we've had the same situation with the jail. We've been able to do that. So we need to have things set up for these projects that are very current. We need to get those ready so that they can move.
Could the commissioner please set up a committee? I'd be happy to serve on it.
But let's just, and
The
we talked about
commissioners will take this and run it.
15 or 20 million dollars worth of projects that were, fairgrounds, roundabouts, recycling district, that's 20 or 25 million. They see that going out the door before we've even made a concerted commitment to what's really the most pressing project for the county. So they see that as either we don't have the courage to do it, or we're just not.
I think we'll, as a result of today and what we've been talking about and so on and so forth, we're going to be able to provide Craig Garitas with information to help us on this near future, next 4, 5, 6 years. One of the reasons we're doing this is that because last October, when we were meeting with Standard & Poor's for our bond rating, our capital improvement program was very minimal. And Garitas was very nervous about that, although our presentation of those of us that were interviewed by them, we were able to move on and keep our A+ rating. But it was shy, and Greg's the one who wanted us to get more, to have more meat in a capital improvement program. So I think we're going to be able to now. But from my standpoint, I think we needed to discuss this, frankly, always.
I don't think we resolved anything today, be it a date or a timeline for anything that's on this list.
Well, that's okay, because everybody has their own opinion.
Right, but okay.
I'll make a comment for the commissioners. We will take the responsibility to move the judicial center forward and start some plans together and just move that forward, but obviously we'll have to work with the council and so on, and Eric has held his hand up. If we put a small committee together, Eric will be the council person to work on that, but we'll, as facilities, we'll move ahead. And I'm not saying we're gonna approve building anything, but we're gonna move ahead with getting more.
That's a big planning project,
It
and
is.
even if we put it on fast track,
Town, we'll get a meeting
we're
with the
30
town.
months from putting the shovel on the ground. I mean, we're 30 months from putting the shovel on the
Okay,
ground.
all right, but we need to get it going.
Well, my suggestion today would be that you make a list of each entity that's going to be involved,
Yeah.
and then ask them to submit a representative. That way you're not appointing everybody.
I'd rather keep it smaller than bigger, quite frankly, but I appreciate your comments. Yeah. Not bad.
The council is adjourned.
We're adjourned.
We're adjourned. We're
Point
adjourned.
Grove,
All right.
Public Safety and EMS. Distributed get them
I don't
on
know.
first. So
It
that
was a lot
takes
more than I-
and they're all county, they're all fire. They don't need that.
I mean, they had that distribution thing out, I mean, the fire chiefs gave it to me, I think it pretty much replaced all the money they're losing. And the ones out west got the money they got now, so I thought that was,
Yeah, that,
Without a
the
doubt.
town started
That's-
screaming,
Well,
like, they're not taking out the fire.
why don't they call and talk to us? 'Cause I mean, I assume that's gonna be a
We're in
point
this
for the whole
together.
time.